Now, Danny Boy is one of those instantly recognisable songs that everybody knows at least some of the words to, and is even known to bring a tear to the eye. In our final film tonight, while the world celebrates a centenary of this famously Irish song, I've been tracing its less well-known West Country roots. In a quiet corner of Portishead stands a statue called The Lady Sings. The words of her song are carved around the plinth. I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. The words are from Danny Boy, a song which has been recorded by everyone from Willie Nelson to Gracie Fields. It's famous all over the world. But what's less well known is that the words were written here in Portishead by one Fred Weatherly. Why should we be interested in Fred Weatherly?
Well, because he wrote 3,000 songs, as many songs as Robbie Burns, and yet he's unknown outside the West Country.
Those 3,000 songs include Roses of Picardy and Bravo Bristol.
This was built to commemorate Danny Boy. Well, 2013 is the 100th anniversary of Danny Boy.
Fred's famous song has had people guessing for the last 100 years. Who was Danny Boy? Is it an Irish rebel song? And is there a missing third verse? I'm trying to build a picture of Portishead's prolific lyricist, and Fred's great-nephew Phil Weatherly has joined me here at the house where Fred was born to share some family secrets.
He was a barrister, and his songwriting was really a part-time hobby initially. There are stories of him on his way to court cases on the train in this area, writing songs on the train.
Danny Boy is this sort of famous Irish traditional song. It's sung to a traditional tune.
Yes.
But the song itself was written by a man, you know, very much rooted in the West Country.
Absolutely.
Had he been to Ireland? Was he a fan of Ireland?
No, he'd not been to Ireland, as far as I know, and I don't think he had any strong feelings, particularly one way or the other, about what was happening in Ireland. At least that doesn't come through in any of his own writings.
But he captured the spirit of Ireland, at least it seems to me, quite beautifully. How did he come to write those words?
That's a bit of a mystery. Nobody really knows. It's just that he had a set of words that he'd written in 1910 for another song, for another tune. His sister-in-law from America had introduced him to the Londonderry air, to the tune, and that he then could see that actually the words could fit that tune rather nicely, and then in 1913 it was first published by Boosey and Company.
So this year being the 100th anniversary of Danny Boy being published, how are you marking the occasion?
We are commissioning a new version of Danny Boy.
Bristol band Carmina rose to the challenge of making this new recording, appropriately enough, in Ireland. How did you go about creating a fresh interpretation of the song?
Well, of course, Danny Boy, as it's come down to us, really is an Edwardian parlour song, really, in a way. The way I approached it was really as a traditional Irish tune. One of the, I suppose, the hallmarks is the simplification of the chords. Really simplicity, I think, to let the song breathe.
Do you think Fred Weatherly would approve of the version that you've made of it?
I think, well, it would be nice to think so. We've got Irish and English musicians in the band, and perhaps also brought a slightly jazzy edge to it with a bit of saxophone and some of the piano arrangement. And I like to think Fred might have quite appreciated that blending, because that was something that he was doing as well. He was bringing his words to a really old Irish tune.
Over the years, the song's been used by both Unionists and Republicans in Ireland, each interpreting the lyrics for their own cause. This is his autobiography, is it?
This is his autobiography, Piano and Gown.
He says, however, Danny Boy is accepted as an accomplished fact and is sung all over the world by Sinn Féiners and Ulstermen alike, by English as well as Irish, in America as well as in homeland. So clearly he realised, you know, by the time he died, that this song had huge meaning.
He recognised that it was a song that was being sung across the world by now, yes.
Fred made his position very clear when he wrote, "It will be seen there is nothing of the rebel song in it and no note of bloodshed." For years there's been speculation of a lost third verse. This is a letter he wrote to somebody, and this is actually one of the verses of Danny Boy.
Yes, the letter was obviously written to a lady fan, acknowledging the fact that she really liked the words of Danny Boy, and he's taken the time to write out in longhand the whole of the second verse, and states so in the letter that this is the last verse of Danny Boy.
Putting to rest speculation that there is a
Putting
third
to
verse.
rest speculation that there is a third verse.
Fred lived most of his life here in the West Country, including Grosvenor Lodge in Coombe Down near Bath, the house where he wrote the words to Danny Boy. Fred had a son who died, and it's been an abiding theory that he wrote Danny Boy here about his dead son. Fred wrote, "In 1910, 2 special blows had fallen upon me. My father and only son died within 3 months of each other." However, he wrote the first draft of Danny Boy 7 months before his son died, and made no connection between the song and any personal grief he may have felt at the time. So the mystery continues.
Danny Boy, the pipes are calling.
And perhaps it's this mystery which helps explain the song's enduring appeal, whether it's sung as an anthem or at a funeral.
It's got these two really strong themes of mortality and love, which I think everyone is going to relate to that, aren't they? And it's very...
It's almost love beyond the grave, you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's a lovely song, a lovely tune.
And is there something in it that people identify with?
Absolutely. Love, which we need more of in this world.
Fred was buried in Bath, and he'll always be remembered as the writer of one of the world's favourite songs. And that new version of Danny Boy by Carmina is due to be released on St Patrick's Day, which is March the 17th. Well, that's just about it for tonight. Don't forget you can keep in touch with what we're up to on Twitter, or if you'd rather email us, the address is insideoutwest@bbc.co.uk. Next week, we investigate concerns about the way the Children's Air Ambulance is spending its money.
If the opportunity to raise funds for the local air ambulance are diminished, there's a real likelihood that you jeopardise that service and jeopardise people's lives.
But from all of us here in Frome, thanks for watching. Good night.